nice guys do get a little bad rap sometimes. I'm guilty of that, but I've had enough of the bad boys. I could take a nice guy too. But nice guys, you know, truly nice guys sometimes get a bad rap.
But why is that? I mean, why do we get bad raps?
Because sometimes we want somebody to just say, look, just shut up. Just sit down, shut up, go cook.
But see,
you know, I know, but if that's not you, that's not you.
I don't understand that, though. I know. I mean, that makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Go ahead.
I want to say something because I was talking to another brother about this point that you're making now. They said there's something about predictability, that a lot of so-called nice guys are too predictable, right? And there's not, you can call it drama or whatever, to mix it up. But it gets boring, I guess, to be nice versus kind of mixing it up. And what's crazy is that my mother told me this when I was 12 years old. She said, never be too nice to a woman. And I've never forgotten that she told me. I was 12 years old when she told me that. So I learned from then that every now and then you do have to mix it up, not get crazy with it, but I'm just trying to help you understand. It's the boring predictability
We want to
part.
know that there's a line in the sand that it's going to be trouble if we cross it. You know, we don't want the violence. We don't even want the threat of violence. But we want to know that if you have to, you will go there. You know, just have some of that little edge. You know, just have some, just a little swagger where you will just make us know, okay, you can only go so far, you can only do so much, and I'm not going to take it. You know, be the one to walk out the door. She'll follow you. Who are you?
Yeah, my name is Jason Augustine. I'm a full-time college student at Morehouse College.
What school?
Morehouse College.
Morehouse.
Yes, ma'am.
Morehouse in the house. Okay. Go ahead.
Yes, and also I feel I do listen and I talk as well, but I feel that females these days, their mind is sort of misconstrued. I think that music and television kind of misconstrue their views on things. And sometimes when they make decisions and when they talk, they don't really think about what they say. They really think with their heart. So I think that guys, we try to think about what they're really thinking about, and since they're thinking with their heart, we don't really understand where they're coming from sometimes. So I think that's some conflicts that we have between men and female these days.
Okay, so you think women are more emotional?
Yeah, they're a little bit too emotional. I mean, it's okay, but I think some females are a little bit too emotional, and they don't really think before they say certain things.
Well, you know, and because you're young, and the women that you're dealing with are probably young women.
It's true.
So I guess life just will take its toll and take a turn, and as you mature, things hopefully it'll get better.
Since I'm going to school, I'm in contact with a lot of different females, so really from all across the country. I noticed that not just females who think with their mind and think with their heart. I think that females who are in school, they're a little bit more stable than females who aren't in school. I also noticed that as well. So I think that females really should get educated, not just reading, but really go out there and work, because they like to depend on males to really provide them with too much. But I think that's cool. I mean, I want to give you presents, but I think you should also go out there for yourself and see what the world is like before you just settle down with one man and think that he should just give you everything.
My name's John Francis. I am uninvolved and single, married once, have children. I own a wine bar called Vino Libro.
Shameless plug.
Shameless
but that's
plug.
Okay.
And so the first question is, what do I want? And I'll just assume you take for granted some of the obvious things, a certain level of beauty, certain level of intellect, sense of humor, all that classic stuff. Some of the
Long
things
walks on the beach.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Some things that I'd mentioned that maybe aren't classic would be, I feel like I want someone who's modern and current, but still has an extreme appreciation for femininity. And one of the things
so
that
you want a woman with hair, huh? I'm just waiting.
No, there's something about being feminine that men don't understand that comes through. And one of the things I think about this generation of folks is that everyone's trying to achieve and trying to be a certain level of independent. It's almost a way that they state their success or sort of show their measure in life. But what it does is it makes us all sort of conform around a bunch of set of ideals. And in the process, people forget that men are men and women are women, and they sort of compete on the same set of attributes. It sort of happens in conversation. I really adore women who sort of latch onto their femininity and say, I'm still about being feminine. The other things I love is spontaneity. I just love a woman that's spontaneous. I also really value a woman who, as you said, understands respect. And respect isn't about submission, you know, sort of letting a man be strong. It's more about respecting who we each are. And too often I think that is misunderstood. As far as talking and listening goes, I have a really difficult time listening and talking to women because I miss what they're really trying to tell me. I actually hear what they're saying that comes out of their mouth, but they're really telling me something that's in their stomach. You know, there's an emotion that's coming out that's sometimes discrepant with what they're saying, and I miss it. I just don't get it. The other problem I have is that I don't always value what they're saying. I'll hear you clearly every day of the week. I'll talk to you all the time if I value what you're saying. And sometimes I'm sitting across from, you know, it's like speaking to a racist. You know, I just don't value what you're saying. You know, it's like, I hear you, but it's just I'm not in your ballpark.
Okay, John. I mean, I know you, so all the stuff that I used to tell you, you just don't. I mean, I didn't date you, but did you value anything I said to you? Now, don't answer that, see, because you hesitated. But so how does one do? That's hard because you're in a relationship. This woman is pouring her heart out to you, or her stomach, or whatever, and
it's happened.
You are sitting there and you're listening, you're pretending to listen, but you don't place any value in this person. So why are you wasting her time?
I shouldn't. That's kind of what I'm saying. It becomes a huge waste of time. If someone's pouring out their heart and really laying it down, and you don't value what they're saying, it's like listening to George Bush on Iraq. It's like, I don't really value what he's saying. And every time he talks, I do this to him. And I'm never going to believe what George Bush says on Iraq. I don't care how he pours it out. He could get on his knees, cry, and shed tears. I'm just going to look at him and be like, I'm sorry, kid, I just don't value what you're saying. I'm looking for a woman who, when she pours out her heart, I value what she's saying, and she values what I'm saying. Okay. Everybody ain't that way.
Now, do you, at the time when you realized that you placed no value in this person, did you stop and say, look,
it's not the person, it's what they're saying. We're talking about talking and listening.
Okay.
And if someone is coming to me saying, here's what I value, and I go, you know what, that's not me.
Okay, so do you
I'm not going to hear you.
Do you stop it? That's what I'm saying.
You ought to, and I haven't.
Okay.
And then it's like running up a down escalator.
Right.
Right? You're just never going to get anywhere.
You're not going anywhere.
And so back to the point, I'm trying to be clear in my answer at least.
Right, and I understand that, but
there's love and there's connection for me when I value what I'm listening to, and there's value in what I'm saying to the other person. When that's not there, it's not going to work. You may as well just walk on. And I've stayed way too long in stuff that wasn't going to work because we didn't share values. You know, whatever, pick your topic. It could be sports, it could be weather. You know, I love current events. You know, when I'm talking about current events, if that person doesn't value it, it's like I could be talking to someone in another language. So I know it comes across as harsh and pretty deliberate, but it's actually been my experience that waste a lot of energy talking and listening when you're really never going to match up. You're just not going to get there. He and his wife have a common set of values, right? And they matched up for them. Every woman or every man is not going to, want to sign up for that arrangement. Right, it's just.
Right. And you're not wrong for those feelings, right. And I mean, I absolutely agree. And there's times when I probably stayed in relationships too long, where I knew it wasn't going to work, and I kept hoping. But in all fairness, when you know that it's not a love connection, just let it go.
Yeah, that's what I said, and that's the fair thing to do.
Yeah.
More or less, what I'm saying boils down to is everybody ain't for everybody.
Absolutely.
And I think we sort of need to lose the logic that says there's a platform that we can all talk about this on, and everybody use that platform and march ahead. It's really an individual thing when you get right down to it.
And it really is.
You know?
And in your case, the reason why I wanted so many different people and their perspectives is, and you're a prime example. When you know, and this is for women and men, when you know that this person isn't what you want. You know, the sex can be good, whatever. He might have a good job. He might be balling. But, but if it's not right, you got to have the courage to let it go and walk away. Right. You really just gave me some clarity, so thank you. All right, who are you? What do you do? Do you listen? Do you talk? And what you want?
I am Keith Hill, and I'm the creator and founder of Keith Knows, which is the website that connects people.
So you're a critic. So
I'm a critic, yeah.
I want a good review on this, too.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm single, and I'm satisfied being single.
Okay.
I've had relationships in the past. And so for me personally, I'm pretty satisfied with being single. I'm satisfied with that. It took me a long time to work on me, Keith the person, and so I'm satisfied with that. If I meet someone along my journey, along my path, I'm okay with that. I do talk, I do communicate, I do listen. Being in my industry, those are skills I possess. And so for me, I'm comfortable.
Okay.
So to me, if it happens, fine. If it doesn't happen, I'm content with that.
If I'm giving you some complaints, have you heard this stuff before? And if you have, why have you not fixed it?
Usually if I hear something about me more than one time, that's when I usually examine myself, usually.
Okay.
So, but for me personally, I'm kind of like what he said. I listen to people if they got something to say,
of value,
and that there's some commonality. But if there's no commonality, then I'm probably just sort of there like a zombie. So I sort of agree with his point of view.
Okay, so do you have the courage to walk away?
And maybe when I was younger, I didn't have the courage to walk away. But now that I'm experienced and I've been exposed, I pretty much know immediately what I'm involved with. So I usually walk away.
I'm Al Slaughter. I'm single. I've been married. I have an 11-year-old son.
What do you do?
I'm an operations manager for a liquor and wine distributor.
Okay.
What do I want? Just peace. Just simple peace. Peace of mind. Peace of change. Just peace of, just peace. Piece of cake. I just want peace. I'm a true romantic. That's what I am. I know that. And I know I can't find that. A lot of women don't appreciate that anymore. And I talk too much. That's why now I tend to write everything down I want to say.
I haven't gotten a poem in a while either. Go ahead.
I sent you one yesterday. I just write it out. I write it in a poem. That's how I feel. That's what I want to say. A lot of women just can't handle what I'm bringing these days. And I know that now. My ex didn't work. Just like the brother. She didn't appreciate that. And that's fine. I just know the next time, you do you, I'm going to do me. When we get together, we'll do each other. Don't try to change me. I love my cigars. I love my jazz, my wine. I'm going to do that. That's part of me. I'm going to continue to romance you to the day I die. Whatever I did to get you, that's what I'm going to do to keep you. But if you can't appreciate that, I got the courage to run away. I can't walk no more. I got the courage to run.
All right. I should say this conversation is a little different than the one that I had with Al, but my conversation with Al was what made me think that this would be a good idea, to have this conversation. Now, he don't want to tell me what he said on the phone, okay? But I'm not going to put you out there on the
phone. What did I tell you on the phone?
Okay, tell me, why did your last relationship not work?
His sister broke up with me because I wouldn't sleep with her.
Okay, let's get to the good part.
She broke up with me because I wouldn't sleep with her.
So how long were y'all together? 3
months, and I told her I wanted to get to know you. I believe I can make love to any woman without touching her. And if you don't subscribe to that philosophy, well, I'm not doing what I need to do, so I need to leave. And if you can't respect me enough to respect my wishes, we all been told by a woman, I'm not ready for that. And if you really care about her, you'll wait. And so my whole thing was, I want you to wait on me. I'm not ready to sleep with you. Do I want to sleep with you? Yes. But I'm not ready for that type of commitment. That's a commitment to me.
So it wasn't because you needed a little blue pill?
Oh, no. But you know what? Hey, I ain't gonna knock a brother to do.
No, and...
Do you?
No, I'm not saying that. That was kind of like a joke.
I know, but do you? But I just want that respect. And I felt as though, you know, if you couldn't wait, you couldn't respect that. Marriage taught me one great thing. I can do without.
Because you know what?
Yeah, I did without.
You're never celibate until you're married, trust me.
I never cheated. I'm 40 years old, I ain't never cheated. I don't need to cheat. If I don't want to be with you, I'll leave you. But marriage was great. I mean, it taught me that big lesson. I can do without. I can look at Holly Berry and say, and what? I had one girl tell me that I was like Joan on Girlfriends. You got a 3-month rule? I'm like, I never looked at it that way, but hey. And I said, there's nothing wrong with being Joan. I just want to get to know you. I mean, it's Atlanta. I can replace you at the red light. That's just being honest. It's Atlanta. I can find that anywhere. So if I want something a little deeper, if I want to take you to Vino Libra, I want to be able to take you there and enjoy that. If I want to bring you here.
And if you want to buy him a heart-shaped cheesecake for Valentine's.
You know, I mean, I want to be able to do that and not be some kind of ulterior motive. You know, if I bring you into my world, I want you to be able to enjoy my world without thinking too deep. It's not that serious. Just enjoy this. You know, and I will talk to you. You might not want to hear what I got to say.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you, though. I always take women to the same restaurant. Because I'll tell them up front, hey, if we're not going to have a bad date, at least I'm going to enjoy my meal.
Kelly, first of all, this is a great opportunity and a great panel, no doubt about it. My name is Kevin Vaughn. I'm excited about this part of it. I've been married 27 years, gentlemen, and Kelly.
Wonderful.
And excited about that. And I'm a businessman, do a lot of networking around the country, and I'll leave it as that for right now. But this is an awesome opportunity here. But one thing.
And what do you do other than a businessman? You can do your little shameless plug. Go ahead.
I appreciate it. Yeah, no problem. First of all, gentlemen and Kelly, I have a BS degree in electronic engineering, so I'm an engineer, and also I own the Men Let's Talk Network, which is worldwide, and it's just what we're here for is just basically to support you guys too as well, along with Kelly. But we're just excited about what's happening. Men are waking up to some things, and women are too as well. We're just trying to get those two together, you know, in the right relationships. But Kelly, one of the areas that we're real excited about is one area I had to learn to listen. That's the first thing, because I'm pretty strong. Not that I'm in the astrology, but I'm an Aries. I'm a strong Aries, and I don't listen sometimes, but I do a lot of talking. And so one of the things I had to do is learn to listen. And not just with the heart, but with the mind as well. And as these brothers talked about here, you know, there's a lot of intelligent people out there, a lot of intelligent women, and you got to really kind of get to know them a little bit. You know, it's not about me all the time. When you're talking to people, because I do a lot of network, you got to listen. Really got to listen to people. But as far as relationships, now my wife, she's the opposite of me. She's just on the other side. She took care of the family, raised my son and daughter, guys, real well. But she's not going to be here with me all the time. And I had to understand that. I wanted somebody to be with me, you know, pretty much as I go out. But she doesn't do that. So I had to respect that. And that was one of the things. You got to kind of back off a little bit. She's not going to go to the Bahamas with me necessarily because I travel a lot. She may not go to Vegas for a briefing. I was at a seminar this morning. She didn't want to come. But I have to keep rolling. So you can't have arguments about why ain't you supporting me. But if anything, I would say it'd be a concern is that men need to get the support and the respect on what they're doing. And I think a lot of guys already mentioned that. And I think that's a big problem today. A lot of women don't know how to really understand. And when they have a strong man doing things, I'm talking about working, have businesses, they have to be able to support them, at least motivate them as well. You know, it's very, very important. And we don't see that enough today.
So who are you? What you want? Do you talk? Do you listen? And do you want a woman like your mama?
My name is Rob Tyler. I go to GPC. I'm a sophomore. I talk sometimes, but I just talk to let the women know what they want to hear. Let them know what they want to hear, you know. And I listen when they talk, you know what I'm saying? And I just keep listening till they, you know.
See, we had to get a perspective from everybody, so he's young, so go ahead.
I'm a young cat, man. I'm 21, you know. I look, right now, man, I'm not really looking for a relationship. To be really honest with you, I like friends. I like having friends, female friends, and pretty much it, man.
So if you were looking for a relationship, would you be looking for somebody like your mother?
Absolutely.
That was a good answer.
I like my mother. I like a woman with personality, that's pleasant. Know how to make cheesecakes. That's down to earth. That's real cool. You know what I'm saying? Just real nice, pleasant. No kind of woman I look for. Beautiful inside and out. Like my mother. Cheesecake by Kelly, www.cheesecakebykelly.com.
Thank you. Your mother is really lucky too. I want you to know that.
My name is John Hall.
Okay.
I'm the owner of Halls of Fine Wines. That's my shameless plug, 3 doors down.
Oh, absolutely.
I've been married for 23 years. I have a son who's a sophomore in college. And I have a daughter who is an 8th grader, who's 14. Do I talk? Yeah, most of the time. Do I listen?
Did you say you were married for 23 years?
Yeah, I've been married 23 years.
Wonderful.
I talk most of the time. I listen enough. One of the things yeah, I listen enough. I mean, you don't listen all the time. You don't. I mean, and no one does. I mean, let's just say that's human nature. I mean, people are. I mean, when my wife's talking to me, if she really wants to get my attention, she'll call my name, and she knows I'm listening because I'll turn to her and I'll look at her. If I'm staring off into space or I'm watching the Sports Center or whatever, I'm not really paying attention. But when I turn and look at you and I'm looking at you, I'm listening to you at that point. And then there are times. I mean, human nature is what it is. I mean, there are times when you just don't want to listen, even when you pretend that you are. Because you don't want to hear what the other person's saying. Because you've already made up your mind about whatever it is you were talking about or thinking about or fighting about, and that's just human nature. So, marriage is rough. I mean, my wife asked me if she was to pass before me, would I ever get married again? I told her no. And I mean, just being honest. I mean, because it's a commitment that you make, and this is a hard road to hoe, and you have to deal with somebody else's feelings and idiosyncrasies and and whatnot, and you just it's rough, but if you're in it and you're willing to grow, and that's really, to me, what I find is the crux of a lot of it is grow, because some people grow and change where other people are comfortable where they are. And sometimes it works. And I mean, it happens in a marriage just like it happens to people in real life. Sometimes it works when somebody grows and the other person doesn't, because people just don't grow at the same pace. And that's what I find becomes, part of the problems or the issues that a lot of people face, regardless of if you're married or you're dating or any kind of relationship. Women need to just understand that men are basic. We are simple. My wife is the only woman I've ever dated that can cook better than me. And I'm not going to say that's the only reason I married her, but it is one of them. And being a basic kind of a person or a man, for the most part, your needs become simple. You understand what you want. Yeah, you might think complex equation because you're rocket science, but when you go home at night, you want simple things. You want peace in the home. I think, issues that folks that are dating today that they have is because there's all these single parent households, and you don't really get to understand what it is to be in a relationship. Women, single mothers, are doing the best they can, but you cannot teach a boy how to be a man. There are basic things that only a man, if they're not learning it from you, they're learning it from somebody else. Men do chase beauty to a point, and women to a point. But, for women, for the most part, I mean, if a man's got bank, I mean, big bank, he can look like Frankenstein.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. It's more of a nurturing, and can you take care of a household, and can you protect me, and can you do the things that I need a man to do. That's probably more important to women than looks. I'm pretty much convinced of that. So yeah, I mean, most of the fellows around here will agree with that also.
Yeah, you're right. You know, a pretty face is always nice to look at, and a nice body. But at the end of the day, you know, it is about, can you protect us? Can you provide for us? You know, are you the type of man that we had hoped our fathers were? You know, so you're absolutely right. Looks don't play as much of a part in, because you know what? If you got enough bank, you look good. For real, you do. It will.
There's a lot of truth to that.
It will make you look better. Absolutely. You know, because see, if I blow up and I make a whole lot of money, I'm gonna look like Beyonce in a minute. You know, so it does make you look better.
It does.
Who are you? What do you do? Do you talk? Do you listen?
Yeah, I do a little bit of all of that.
Okay.
I am William H. Summerall III. I do quite a few things. I sell cars for CarMax as often as I possibly can. I handle national accounts full-time for a national company, acting as a liaison for client services to make sure they're satisfied across the nation. And I do some entrepreneurial things with event planning and promotional events and fundraisers to keep our community together and keep it positive in the community, helping everybody grow a little bit at a time and in the most classy, unique way that we possibly can with Event Seekers International.
Okay,
So,
you gave us that shameless plug. So, are you married, single? What's your status?
I am single at this time, but actively dating. With my schedule being as it is, I am a single father, a distant single father. So, my primary attention is there, and actively pursuing business opportunities to grow and stabilize myself in the community and in the environment. So, and to be a good father and to set an example for my son so he can achieve, grow, and pursue and understand that all these hurdles that we see daily are definitely achievable in crossing.
Okay.
So as far as listening, I listen quite a bit. I have a perception I've noticed ever since I was young as a child, my mother being a single parent, I have a perception that people think I don't listen. But what they fail to realize is that I'm like a sponge. I absorb everything, and what's needed gets accepted. What needs to be used gets utilized, and what needs to be thought about definitely gets dwelled on.